What's up, YouTube? Zero here. Welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, I'm going to show you the Lord Almeidrea and Mesmald boss battle. Throughout this video, I'm probably going to make some stupid moves, but I'm also going to give you some tips and tricks as to how to more easily defeat this giant brute and her pet. So first things first, as I'm getting into this video, if you do enjoy it, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Tales of Arise content. I do a bunch of other video game videos and mystery box unboxing videos. Most of my video games, especially recently, have centered around RPGs. So if you like RPGs, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. You can't hit it twice, just hit it once to subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's talk about this boss battle. Now, this can be a little time consuming depending upon your strategy. Mine made it time consuming, but it worked. And that's all that matters, right? Defeating the boss. First things first, let's talk about the weaknesses of Mesmald. Almeidrea is riding her pet Mesmald. It doesn't have any. You can't utilize wind, earth, fire. It doesn't have any weaknesses. However, it also doesn't have any resistances. So you don't have to worry about utilizing any moves that Mesmald is going to resist. You can utilize your favorite moves and it'll do just typical damage. Now, Mesmald does have a lot of different moves, and it utilizes both ground combat and flight combat. Now, when it calls in God's Breath, those green beams, since it's on the screen, I want to talk about them. Run as far away from your teammates as possible. As the game has been progressing, I'm getting more and more frustrated with the AI controlling my teammates. It just feels like they are so dumb. They go down so easily in boss battles. So when God's Breath is called, you see that Mesmald is calling God's Breath. It doesn't matter what character you're controlling. Me, I used Alphen for this battle. Just get away from your other teammates. The reason being is because they're idiots. They're gonna stand right in that beam and take the damage, and you don't want them to do that. So for God's Breath, it's a really easy move to avoid. All you have to do is continuously run, and it won't hit you. Just get away from your teammates so they don't take damage as well. I like to go to the back of the map away from Mesmald. Now, it does have a flying move where it scorches the earth with fire. I didn't find that that was too hard to avoid either. When he drops down, be aware of that out of the air because he does call in a move that stuns, so either perfect dodge away or just get a couple of hits while he's in the air and dodge away. That's the best way to kind of avoid that. Me, when I was utilizing Alphen, I found that the aerial move Stardust really worked well for this battle when I did want to do damage to Mesmald while he was in the air. Now, make sure you're targeting the tail because the tail is a weak point. I found that was easier to hit than his chest or his head, so I targeted the tail. And when I targeted the tail and he was on the ground, I used Raining Slash. Now, something you want to be on the lookout for is when Mesmald calls in those giant tornadoes, because if you do get caught up in a giant tornado, it has the potential to bring you up in the air and do a decent amount of damage to you. Now, you can see on the screen he does charge up a move and then rains fire down. You can see where the fire is going to come, but I found that if I was just on the outside of the map constantly moving and dodging, that move didn't hit me. So when he's charging up and about ready to rain down fire, just get to the outside of the map and continuously move and dodge, and you should be able to avoid that move. Now, while he is in the air, you can see there he does spin around and deal a lot of damage if he hits you. So be on the lookout for that. Try to perfect dodge that. If you're using Alphen, you're going to be up close and personal to Mesmald, so you're going to have to look out for that. Now, again, once he's calling in God's Breath, you want to get to the outside of the map away from your teammates. He'll also call in God's Breath when his tornadoes are out. So make sure you're avoiding the tornadoes. Again, the tornadoes are probably going to hit extremely hard. When he's coming down, you can perfect dodge like I did there, and then try and get that counter attack hit off. When he goes into the air, me personally, I tried to target the tail with either Raining Slash, or when he went into the air, I utilized my aerial move Stardust. So those were the two moves that I was really utilizing throughout this battle for Alphen. Is when Mesmald was on the ground, I would utilize my Raining Slash. When he was in the air, I would try to use Stardust. Every once in a while, I would use Severing Wind so I could get the damage on him while he's on the ground, take me into that aerial Stardust so I could get that combo move. Now this battle can drain a little bit. It can drag on. A lot of your teammates, they're just, I don't know what they're doing. Seems like they're just chilling. I use Xion as my healer in this battle. You can use Xion, you can use Dohalim, doesn't really matter. But me personally, just one tip, at least at this point in the game, I'm still keeping Rinwell on the bench. She can deal a decent amount of damage, and she has moves that covers a wide variety of enemies. But she's just extremely weak. She goes down very easily. Unfortunately, this is the battle you do want her in during. This is the Lord that killed her parents. But she's just extremely weak. Now, there is one point when you do want to bring her in. That's a little bit later in the battle. But to start the battle, I would recommend keeping Rinwell on the bench. I know, immediate thought is, let me put Rinwell in. She's getting revenge for her parents. Don't do that at the start of the battle. You can switch out your characters mid-battle. And I'm going to show you when I do it. Don't do it till mid to later battle is when you want to put Rinwell in. Because again, she's very weak. And you don't want to lose her early battle. Now, Mesmald, you did see there, he does give you a hint when he's about to call in his green laser. He starts charging up a little bit, and that just tells you, get out of dodge, don't be in his path. He's looking forward, he doesn't spin. Once he's charging up that laser, just get out of dodge. Now, around halfway, Lord Almeidrea goes into her little bubble. She gets off of Mesmald. You're not going to be able to hit Lord Almeidrea. Just forget about her. Continue to focus on Mesmald, as you only have to take out Mesmald. I know there are two boss bars up top. Almeidrea is going to take care of herself after you defeat Mesmald, so you don't have to worry about that. She is going to cast spells, so be aware that she's going to cast spells as well as Mesmald trying to hit you, and he does get powered up. And when he starts to get powered up, you just saw he can call in an area of effect that stuns people, and then he calls in cross scissors. Either that or Almeidrea called that. I don't know who called it, but there are cross scissors. It gives you a long lead time for you to know that cross scissors are coming. So now I'm bringing in Rinwell. You could see I'm a little past halfway down on Mesmald. You want to do this once Almeidrea gets back on top of Mesmald, because there's going to be a split second that you just saw that you have to utilize Rinwell to counter Almeidrea's insanely powerful attack. Now, do you have to do this? No, but that's going to allow her to cast her insanely powerful attack. If Rinwell is alive at this point, you have a split second to call in her D-pad ability to stop Almeidrea from calling that in. So when do you want to bring Rinwell in? Let me reiterate. Almeidrea is going to go into her bubble around half health of Mesmald. Then she's going to jump back on Mesmald during the battle, after she's gotten into her green bubble. Once she gets back on Mesmald, that's when you want to bring Rinwell in. Rinwell will be able to counter Almeidrea's insanely powerful attack at this point. If Rinwell is dead, you're not going to be able to counter this insanely powerful attack. This insanely powerful attack, and you're going to see it in a few minutes, calls in a bunch of tornadoes in the middle of the map. Now, you can avoid it. Your dumbass teammates are not going to be able to. So you want to try and keep Rinwell alive so you can counter this attack. Now, you can keep Rinwell on the bench. You just have to remember to utilize L2 and call in Rinwell's D-pad ability when Almeidrea is about to cast her tornadoes, which I found was a little bit harder. It's just easier when Rinwell is on the pitch, so you can counter it a little bit easier. Now, what happens if Rinwell goes down? Because she does go down in my party. Almeidrea is going to cast this tornado in the middle of the map. It's 4 tornadoes or 5 tornadoes. All of your teammates are going to die. Period. All of them are going to die. It doesn't matter what character you use. Just make sure you stay to the outside of the map. You can easily avoid it by staying on the outside of the map. Now, it's going to be a long battle. Mine was. It's actually, I'm not showing you the full battle. You'll see at the end of the video when I stop showing you and kind of cut to the end, because it's literally a rinse and repeat. But what's going to happen is Rinwell is dead. I can't counter Lord Almeidrea's insanely beast mode move. So she's going to call in her tornadoes in the middle of the map. I'm going to go to the outside of the map to avoid it. At the end of the battle, all she does is call in these tornadoes. So what you want to do, she calls in the tornadoes, you go to the outside of the map to avoid it. Then after the tornadoes are gone, you go, you hit Mesmald a few times, then you go back to the outside of the map, rinse and repeat. That's the strategy at the end of the game, because all she does is call in these tornadoes. So at the end of the match, to easily beat Mesmald, once you're a little bit past a quarter of its health left, is Almeidrea is going to call in tornadoes. You go to the outside of the map. Those tornadoes go away. You go back. You hit Mesmald a few times. Then you run to the outside of the map, avoid the tornadoes, rinse and repeat. That's all the end of the battle is, are these tornadoes and you going to the center. And you'll see right here is where Lord Almeidrea is getting ready to cast those tornadoes. It charges up. It takes a while to charge up, but you could get a few hits off. Then you got to run to the outside of the map. It's called Chaotic Disaster. You can see here, I'm just staying on the outside of the map. When she's calling it in, a little past a quarter left of Mesmald's health, that's all the battle is going to be, is her calling those tornadoes. Make sure you get to the outside of the map. Once these tornadoes are gone, you can go back into the center and damage Mesmald. That's all this end of the battle is. It's rinse and repeat. Go to the middle. Hit this thing. Come back out, etc. If you don't have Rinwell. Now, if Rinwell's alive, you can counter this, but there's only a split second to do so. So again, she calls in her tornadoes. Unfortunately, didn't get any hits off in that round, but that's all it's going to be. Your dumbass teammates are going to stay there. They're going to take damage from the tornadoes. They're eventually going to go down. If you don't want to waste your equipment or don't want to waste CP, whatever, then just get to the outside of the map and you can do the damage yourself. This is going to take a while at this point with that much health left on Mesmald to finish the battle, but it's really easy at this point as long as you can be patient. All you have to do is be patient, get to the outside of the map when the tornadoes are coming, stay on the outside of the map when the tornadoes are there, then when they go away, go back to the middle, damage Mesmald a little bit, rinse and repeat. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do at the end of the battle. Now, I didn't bring in Kisara or Law. I left them on the outskirts just so I can utilize their D-pad ability, so I can do some extra damage on Mesmald as I continued to rinse and repeat, doing the same strategy over and over and over again. Now, what I did in this video, just for video purposes, to cut down on the length of the video, is I actually skipped about 10 minutes of me doing the same thing, because I was literally doing the same thing. Now you can see I'm down to a sliver of Mesmald's health, almost completing the battle. But that's how you can defeat Mesmald and Lord Almeidrea, hopefully a little bit easier than you were thinking. Hopefully I helped you out. Hopefully you can go into this Almeidrea battle confident that you're going to take her out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, again, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more Tales of Arise content. Not a ride, we're not riding anything. Arise content. Check out some of my other videos. I do some owl location videos if you are interested in locating the owls in the game. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. It's the weekend for me, so I'm going to go kick back and play some Tales of Arise now that it's Saturday. But I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And until next time, peace.